It's Sunday morning. You are standing at a coffee shop counter, $5 bill already in your hand. A medium coffee, maybe a small pastry on the side. The barista reads the total. You tap your card without blinking. $5. You drink it on the drive and forget it happened before you reach the office. By the time your day starts, you will not remember this purchase. That is the entire point of a $5 coffee. It is precisely the amount that disappears without leaving a mark. Pleasant in the moment, invisible by afternoon. Now hold that $5 in your mind. Because this story is about that same $5, redirected every single day for 40 years, and about the two completely different people it quietly builds while nobody is paying attention. You are 25. Same Sunday morning, same coffee shop, but this time you walk past it. You make coffee at home, sit down, open a banking app, and move $5 into a broad index fund. One button, no research required. The screen shows a balance of $5. It looks absurd, like filling an ocean with a single cup of water. There is no excitement, no reward, nothing to tell anyone about. Just $5 sitting inside something that holds a small piece of nearly every major company on Earth. You do it again the next day, and the day after. You automate it so it moves on its own and stops feeling like a sacrifice. $152 leaves your account each month towards something you never see and rarely think about. That was always the quiet truth about $5. It disappears either way. You just changed where it was going. You are 26. One full year has passed. The balance reads around $1,900. You contributed $1,825. The market quietly added $75 more while you were living your life. $75. Practically embarrassing. You mention it once to your coworker Derek over lunch. He raises an eyebrow. $75 in a whole year? He is not being cruel. He is being accurate. Derek grabs a $5 coffee every morning, picks up a snack in the afternoon, adds a small treat here and there throughout his day. Roughly $5 at a time, across a dozen small habits he genuinely enjoys and will never be able to add up later. You say nothing. You finish your lunch. The difference between you and Derek right now is $75 and one habit nobody can see. The $75 is not what matters. The habit underneath it is. You are 30.5 years in. The balance is around $11,000. You put in $9,000. The rest showed up on its own, produced entirely by time. You do the math one evening and realize $11,000 equals every coffee, every small snack, every $5 convenience purchase since you were 25. Except instead of being forgotten, it is sitting in an account with your name on it. That same week, a colleague texts you about an investment opportunity. High returns, fast timeline, limited spots. He is already in and wants you to join before it closes. You recognize the shape of it immediately. The promise that a small amount becomes a large amount quickly, with very little time in between. That promise has a different name every few years, but the same outcome. You politely decline. He calls you too cautious. 18 months later, he quietly stops mentioning it. You keep doing the most unremarkable thing a person can do with money. You keep going slow. You are 35, 10 years in, $27,000 in the account. Then the market has a bad year, a genuinely bad one. Your balance drops by a third in a few weeks. A friend tells you he moved everything to cash, that he saw this coming, that you should do the same. You don't. You simply stop checking the balance. You let the number fall and keep the automatic transfer running, buying into the same fund while it is cheaper than it has been in years. You are not disciplined in any dramatic sense. You are just too unbothered to react. And being unbothered turns out to be one of the most valuable things you can be with money. You are 40. 15 years. The balance is around $52,000. For the first time, the account holds more than you ever put in. The thing has started carrying itself. A neighbor loses his job that spring. No savings, no cushion, nothing between him and a missed mortgage payment. You have a number sitting quietly behind your life that you have never needed to touch. And for the first time, you understand the $5 was never only about some distant retirement. It was always also a wall, a second layer between you and the worst version of a bad year. You are 65, 40 years from that Sunday morning you walked past the coffee shop. The balance is about $531,000. Here is the breakdown, because it tells the whole story in 3 numbers. Of that $500,000, the amount you actually contributed yourself, $5 a day, automated, unremarkable, for 40 years, is $73,000. The other $458,000 is growth, money you never earned, never worked an extra hour for, never noticed arriving. You did not get lucky. You did not find the right stock. You did not time anything. You just redirected $5 a day into a boring fund and left it alone long enough for time to do the heavy lifting. Your coworker Derek retires the same year you do. Same company, same salary the entire way. Good man, never missed a shift. He spent his $5 on 1,000 small pleasures that were real, that he enjoyed, and that he cannot trace now. Over 40 years, Derek's $5 also totaled $73,000, the exact same amount, the exact same $5 bill every single morning. He just sent it somewhere else. There was no single day the two of you went in separate directions. There were just 2 different answers to the same small question, repeated every morning at a coffee shop counter, until the answers were no longer choices. They had quietly become 2 different lives. The $5 was never too small to matter. It was small enough to ignore. And that is exactly why it decides everything for the few who don't. If this is the kind of honest, straightforward thinking about money that you are here for, you are already in the right place. This is Mary Explains Money, where we break down the small daily decisions that quietly build the big picture. See you in the next one.